inaugural celebration of the 17th President.
Fil-am News is one of the banner programs of Fil-am TV network, covering Filipino-American community news, events, and public affairs in Las Vegas, Nevada, in addition to 7 participating cities with a high density of Fil-ams and Filipino in America. Fil-am TV Network brings Fil-am News from the entertainment capital of the world to your home and anywhere on your favorite device. Visit Fil-am TV US to enjoy live streaming of Fil-am TV Network's programs, especially Fil-am News, anytime and anywhere in the world. Watch Fil-am News on KGNG 126.8 Las Vegas and Roku app of Fil-am TV Network and ACTV or in the WCTV app digital app on the smartphones. You may also watch both live and video on-demand programs via filmtv.us or simply go to Facebook or YouTube and search for Fil-am News.
Hello once again, kumusta po kayong lahat? And thank you very much for watching and following Fil-am News. By the way, I would like to greet all the teachers, parents, and students in the Philippines as they started the new school year in the Philippines last Monday. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Pure Medical Equipment, located at 3750 South Jones Boulevard, Suite 190, Las Vegas, Nevada 89103. The premier provider for your medical equipment and supply needs. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, private and cash pay. Pure Medical Equipment. The United Nations Children's Fund, or UNICEF, on Monday lauded the return of students to the classroom and commended the Philippine government for taking decisive steps to reopen in-person schooling. In a statement on Monday, UNICEF Philippine representative Oyanasahan Dendenerub said the return of face-to-face classes is the first of many steps in learning recovery. Each day spent in the classroom is an opportunity for us to improve and chart the path to an effective, equitable, resilient education system, Dendenerub said. More than 2 years since the onset of the coronavirus pandemic, classes resumed last Monday in public elementary and secondary school across the country for school year 2022-2023. Blended learning, or a combination of face-to-face online classes, will be in place until October 31st, while mandatory in-person classes will start on November 2. The UNICEF said prolonged school closures, poor health risk mitigation, and household income shocks had the biggest impact on learning poverty, resulting in children failing to read and understand a simple text by the age of 10. Vulnerable children, such as children with disability, children living in geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas, and children living in disaster and conflict zones fare far worse, it said. The UNICEF also commended the Department of Education, the Early Childhood Care and Development Council and the Bangsamoro Region's Ministry of Basic, Higher, and Technical Education for the return of the F2F classes. UNICEF supports the safe reopening of all schools and early learning centers in the Philippines by providing technical assistance through guidelines and standard operating procedures, supporting the Bangsamoro Education Ministry, offering local government in reopening preschools, providing schools with water, sanitation, and hygiene facilities, and cleaning and disinfection kits, and conducting rapid literacy assessment and learning recovery program, it said. Earlier, Department of Education spokesperson Michael Pua said the return of face-to-face classes in most public schools nationwide has been orderly and peaceful. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
This segment is brought to you by Trans-Pacific Multi-Services LLC, Bookkeeping and Tax Services, located at 5440 West Sahara Boulevard, Suite 107, Las Vegas, Nevada 89146. Qualified tax preparer, specializing in preparation of individual and business tax returns. Trans-Pacific Multi-Services.
Seasoned career diplomat Ambassador Enrique A. Manalo took his oath of office before President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. last July 1st as the new Secretary of Foreign Affairs. President Marcos appointed Secretary Manalo in view of his long and distinguished career in the Philippine Foreign Service and his vast experience in diplomacy. President Marcos said he preferred a career diplomat at the helm of the Department of Foreign Affairs for the Philippines effectively advance its interests in the international stage and in the face of formidable challenges. During his more than 4 decades of service in the DFA, Secretary Manalo was appointed as the Undersecretary for Policy twice. In this capacity, he was the principal advisor to the Secretary of Foreign Affairs in matters involving the country's relations with the international community. As Undersecretary for Policy, Secretary Manalo also served as the Philippine senior official in the ASEAN Senior Officials Meeting, which is the working level mechanism for ASEAN policy formulation and priority setting. Secretary Manalo is the expert in multilateral diplomacy, having served as the Philippine permanent representative to the United Nations in New York. Immediately prior to being appointed as Secretary of Foreign Affairs, he was also the Philippine permanent representative to the United Nations in Geneva. He has held other notable positions including Acting Secretary of Foreign Affairs, Philippine Ambassador to the United Kingdom and Belgium, Assistant Secretary for European Affairs, Minister Counselor, and Deputy Permanent Representative in the Philippine Permanent Mission to the United Nations in New York, and First Secretary and Consul at the Philippine Embassy in Washington, D.C. Secretary Manalo holds a Master of Arts and a bachelor's degree in economics from the University of the Philippines, Diliman. In recognition of his exceptional service to the country, he was awarded the Order of Placandula with the rank of Grand Cross. Bayani. In 2018, Dagawad Mabini with rank of Grand Cross, Dakilang Kamanong in 2017, and the Order of Sikatuna with the rank of Grand Cross, Datu in 2010. He is married to Pamela Louise Hurt and has 2 sons. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This segment is brought to you by Engineer Romeo Durrani and Attorney Nadia Catarata Durrani Scholarship Foundation. And on Las Vegas local news, 2022 J1 Teachers Meet and Greet on September 3rd, 2022 from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Plus 6350 Fil-am Central, 3700 South Maryland Parkway, Suites 525 H and E, Las Vegas, Nevada 89169. Hosted by the Filipino-American Educators of Nevada in collaboration with Fil-am TV Network, Durrani Catarata Scholarship Foundation, Napa, Nevada, Philippine-American Charity Foundation, University of the Philippines Alumni Association of Nevada, C. de la Cruz, Pampanga Specialty Delicacies, Sendwave, Pure Medical Equipment and Supplies, Las Vegas Philippine Medical Mission, Ilocano American Association of Nevada, Perdi Ponce, Cavite Association of Nevada, Neurology Center of Nevada, IMAD Skin and Wellness Center, Fil-am Civic International, Katrina Ojeda, and Trans-Pacific Multi-Services. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hello once again, kamusta po kayong lahat? The news will held its awarding ceremony and on our public service announcement.
Hello once again, this is Doc Mike for Fil-am News. Thank you very much, and to all of you,
I would like to congratulate
host, Dr. Michael Santawan at your service. Mabuhay! Pampanga Specialty Delicacies, located at 4135 South Tupalo Drive, Suite 102, Las Vegas, Nevada 89147. Saan ka pa? Sa mga kakanin, Pampanga Specialty Delicacies. Or please call 702-682-5705 or 725-605-4085. Pampanga Specialty Delicacies. And of course, at this point, I have another guest, Judge Marie Parladay. Hi! Welcome back here at Fil-am News, Judge.
Salamat, Doc Mike. It's great to be back and back with mga kababayan. Salamat po.
You know what? I heard you have an event on August 25th here at the Fil-am Central. Can you tell our viewers?
Yes, I'm so excited. Please, mga kababayan, join me here at 6350 Fil-am Grand Central, where we're going to have my campaign kickoff party. I am running for family court judge here in Clark County. That's Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, Henderson, Mesquite, Pahrump. Come join me for the party where we will come together as one kababayan to celebrate.
Now, Judge, tell us about yourself.
I am proud to be a Filipina. I am very proud to be Filipina, proud to have been honored by Doc Mike and our Gawad, Nevada for this year's Fil-am Outstanding Woman of the Year for Legal and Faith category. And so it's just my honor to serve our kababayan and this time to run as your family court judge. I was a children's attorney when I first started my law practice. I represented mga bata that were abused and neglected as children. After serving as a children's attorney for 5 years, I received awards from our Congresswoman Shelley Berkeley and Senator Harry Reid for all of the work I did pro bono. And then after that, I sat as a judge, a hearing master. It's called a judge pro tem. Para ning substitute teacher.
Yes.
Pero you sit as a substitute judge for mga courts in family court, child abuse, child neglect, TPO, domestic violence, drug court, delinquency court, puro mga courts in family court. I did that for almost 4 years. I had to close my law practice down because Doc Mike, palagi sila, they were calling me to sit, whether it's short notice, Judge, we need you here today because so-and-so is sick, or it's long term, we need you sitting for months at a time. And so I enjoyed it, sitting as a judge for almost 4 years. I felt like talaga this was my calling, and I would have continued, but instead I was offered a great job to be the head of the whole legal department for dito is called CPS, or Child Department of Family Services. And as that, I was in charge of the whole legal division. I did a lot of appeals. So para it's an administrative law judge this time. Ning mga families, if they file an appeal, it goes to me. I assess the case to determine if there was enough facts to support the maltreatment. I've worked in that capacity for almost 10 years, being in charge of legislation, lawsuits, litigation, appeals, everything in the child welfare setting. And alam mo, I love my job. I love my staff that I get the privilege of building up and working with. I'm so blessed to have a great job, great staff, a great team. And why would I run for family
That's why
court
you
judge?
want to run. Wow. That's why you're running for family court judge.
Yes, sometimes we can get comfortable, diba? Comfortable in our life and just be, comfortable in our little bubble. Pero alam mo, the Lord said, get ready. In September of 2021, sabi ng Diyos sa akin, get ready. You're running in 2022. Sabi ko sa kanya, no, that's okay, Lord. Ayaw ko. I'm happy. I'm comfortable in my life. That's okay. Pero alam mo, when the Holy Spirit speaks to you, para you can't do anything else. So sabi ko to the Lord, okay, Lord, if you want me to run, then I need you to give me a sign so that I know it's you and not me just kalakuan in my mind.
Yeah.
Alam mo, at that moment, si Ate Ami Belmonte,
Yes.
a wonderful woman of God, former president of NAFA,
Yes.
she texted me on that day.
Uh-huh.
And you know what she said, Doc Mike? She said, Judge, we need you to run for office because we need a Filipina on the bench. Alam mo, Doc Mike, na kinakabahan ako. I was scared. I said, ay nako, you ask the Lord for a sign and He gives you a text message. Pero I didn't respond muna kasi medyo takot ako. And I said, okay, Lord, I'm gonna go to church and then let me just I'll think about it. The next day, I went to church. Sabi ning pastor sa akin, while he's preaching, sabi niya, daughter, the Lord says, do what I've called you to do. What are you waiting for? So I responded to Ate Ami. And ayun, that's where it started. That's where I met many of our kababayan.
Yes.
She invited me to Cafe de Manila, I believe. And there I met si John Jose,
Yes.
who was running or who was already installed. And I met mga leaders, Ate Connie, Kuya Bernie, and many of our leaders. And at that moment, si Ate Ami grabbed the mic and she said, "We want Judge Murray to give a campaign speech." Alam mo, I had no campaign speech. Hindi pa ako prepared. Pero I took the mic and I told them what I just told you. And I said, you know, my heart is to follow the will of the Lord. And I love the children and families in our community. When I served a judge, I was very discerning of what was best for our children, because oftentimes, especially in family court, ning mga bata are the ones that are hurt. People come and they file for divorce and they make all these charges against one another, and the mother and father are fighting, pero kawawa naman ng mga bata. And that's where the Lord has given me a heart to serve the families and to serve the children, and of course, most importantly, our kababayan. You know, Doc Mike, why is it that Filipinos, we're the most hardworking, we're the most smartest, and tinan mo naman the most guapo and good looking, right? Diba? Pero why is it that we're so successful? We own many businesses, and yet how come in the political realm
Yes.
we're not represented? Bakit? We have to change that. You know, here in Clark County, the Filipino community, we are the fastest growing demographic.
That's right.
The
Yeah.
Asian American Pacific Islander is the fastest growing ethnicity, but we, the kababayan, are the fastest growing. And so it's time. It's time for us to take our positions in government as a family court judge, as a congressman, as a mayor, as a senator, as a president. It's time for us. I'll do my part, but I'm going to need your help, because I cannot do it alone.
Wow. Regarding with help, what can we, the Filipino community, do to support you?
Number one, please pray for me, because I know that the Lord hears our prayers. I only want to do the will of the Lord as I run this race. And number two, let's come together as one kababayan. Number one, join me at my party here this Thursday here at Fil-am Grand Central from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Join us here. If you can't make this Thursday, join us on September 2nd, because Fil-am Empower
Fil-am
is
Empower.
putting together a fundraising dinner for me on September 2nd. And number three, find me on Facebook, friend me on Facebook, share this information. Go to my website at www.mariforjudge.com. Find me on my website to find out where the events are at. And please, if I ask, please sow a seed. Any amount, $5, $10, $20, $30, $100. Your seed, I pray, will bless you, me, and the kababayan as we go forward. I've used my savings to pay for all the signs all over the city because I want to be able to get the word out. I'm doing this not for me, Doc Mike. I'm doing this for the children and the families, and to be the first in our family to take the seat. And I guarantee you, let's do this together as one kababayan. Elect me, put me in office as the family court judge for our community, and I guarantee you I will come after your children and your children's children, so that together we will run the race. I want to raise up my children, your children, all of our kababayan to start going into the path as the Lord leads them into the political offices, so that those that sit in the political offices will truly represent who we are. It's time, Doc Mike.
Yes, it's time. So, support Judge Marie D. Farlade. Well said, Judge.
Thank you, Doc.
Wow, and good luck.
Salamat po.
Thank you very much. Good luck, and thank you very much for dropping here at Fil-am News.
Salamat
And
po.
last parting word.
Yes. I thank God for each and every one of you. I pray for the Lord to bless you as you're going in and going out. May He order your steps and guide you and lead you. Together, we are one kababayan. Remember, you're not alone. We have a huge family, the kababayan. And I go forward and I say, mabuhay! Mabuhay!
Mabuhay! Mabuhay! Judge Marie D. Farlade. Salamat po.
Salamat po.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. And on our Fil-am sports scene in Las Vegas Fil-am International Basketball Academy once again opened its annual clinic held at Arcanian Gym. For details, please call Jay Rivera, founder, at 775-764-4612. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Pure Medical Equipment, located at 3750 South Jones Boulevard, Suite 190, Las Vegas, Nevada 89103. The premier provider for your medical equipment and supply needs. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, private, and cash pay. Pure Medical Equipment. I hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Fil-am News. Before anything else, I would like to thank my major sponsor, Pure Medical Equipment and Supplies with Pat Magallanes, Sam, and Joseph Buban. And if you wish to become a proud sponsor of Fil-am News or simply want to advertise your business in the channel, please call 702-979-1388. Remember, Kapinoy, use your voice for kindness, your ears for compassion, your hands for charity, your mind for truth, and your heart for love. Until the next episode, this is your host, Dr. Michael Santawan at your service. Mabuhay!